Las Vegas Discount.net's the best there is. Save up to 50% on your next Vegas trip. And travel, rental, shows, and tours. Find the deals you're looking for. Las Vegas Discount.net. Las Vegas Discount.net. If you're going to Vegas for deals that are the best, visit Las Vegas Discount.net.
FightNetRadio.com with Andrew and Lee, talking boxing, combat, sports, comedy, football, and everything kick-ass. All on FightNetRadio.com. Fight Net Radio!
Hola, soy Julio César Chávez.
That's lights out, baby. Lights out all day.
This is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a one-hour television spectacular.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Yeah, I'm in a good space. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. I'm like bumming out the guys before we start this show. Welcome to your coronavirus bonus episode. My name is Tonish, and I'm positive I have corona. So if you want to tell someone, do you know someone who has it? It's not a conspiracy. Let me give you all the symptoms. You can't breathe. Somebody's standing on your chest. You have a fever all the time. Occasionally, you feel like you're drowning. You do get these weird kind of eye things happening where it looks like you have an allergy and you've been sneezing all the time. Apparently, the next phase, and the only time you get reported, because I'm not going to pay $9,000 fucking dollars to find out I'm going to die. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. That's what they actually said. $9,000 for the test. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. So I'm just going to walk around because we were talking about this before we started. I live on the only beach in San Diego County that is still technically open. So, hey, if you're available, come on down to Oceanside. I'm going to walk around this weekend like a fucking terrorist and infect people just for shits and giggles. I am joined, as always, by two guys who care more about boxing than entertaining the public. First, I'm joined by Andrew Labouche. He is a former writer for Premier Round magazine. And I am joined by Fight Fiend Migs. Follow him on Instagram. First of all, Andrew, how are you and how's the family?
Everybody's doing good. Still inside. Every once in a while, let them get to walk around the front yard, give them a little sun, about an hour, and it's get your ass back inside.
I realize what I just said will get my ass thrown in like.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to be honest. That was a joke because I have.
Thank you. There you go.
It's the hold on.
Disclaimer,
it's the
please.
Fifth Amendment, right? But I'm not allowed to scream fire in a crowded building. All right, look. I walk down to the end of my little spot. I look at the water. I do not interact with the public. I stay in my place locked up and fucking concealed. All right, for everybody, just take a deep breath. And for regular Fight Net Radio fans, if I really do contract it, and this is for real, and I'm not going to pay the $9,000, are you out of your fucking mind? If I do really have it, like ventilator status, that's the only time they want you to come in. By the way, that's the reason everybody should be afraid now that I've actually made the phone call. The people that are reporting actual cases, I'm going to hip you two up. The only cases you see, and you can get an app that'll tell you the number of cases, and we're averaging now about 8,000 new cases a day. Those are people who need fucking ventilators already, assholes. Jesus, that's crazy. These aren't like people like me going, yeah, I think I have the symptoms. What do you think? Do you need a ventilator? No. Then do you need to like the test and the ventilator are the only time it gets reported. So if you guys want to be terrified, here's what you need to be terrified about. On average, since the beginning of the week, when I thought I had it, we went from 3,000 cases a day to 5,000 to 6,000. Overnight to Thursday, it was up to 7,500 cases reported from the last 24 hours. So we're exponentially going up. And since none of you have worked in a bank and worked with numbers, let me explain. When you start to increase exponentially, that means by my birthday, Andrew, we'll have at least 100,000 cases by Tuesday, probably closer to 150,000 cases by Tuesday. Yay!
Very scary.
And it's only people who need severe medical attention. It's not the rest of us who think, yeah, I think I got it. Well, do you want to take the test? Fuck you and your $9,000. I'll go buy a motorcycle. I mean, what are you talking about? Jesus, it's my birthday. I'm joined also by Fight Fiend Migs, another diehard real McCoy, the man, the myth, the legend. Follow him on Instagram at Fight Fiend Migs. Migs, are you healthy and alive?
Yeah, man. Far, at least no symptoms, no nothing. I haven't really left my house other than maybe checking my mail. A couple of times I had to go to the store, so we did, the precautionary gloves and masks and shit, and we brought our hand sanitizer and whatever. But didn't really come across a lot of people because some of the stores are pretty much empty. Not just as far as stock goes. Definitely staying healthy is windy as shit, so I don't even step outside right now.
Are either of you juniors like me?
Yeah, me.
Okay, I'm going to give you a big heads up on this one because I'm a douchebag like this. When I called into the control center for Oceanside, I called in as my dad with his social security because I'm going to be a dick. I don't want to be on goddamn lockdown. I don't want that shit happening to me.
All I get is my dad opening my mail. That's what I get. Oh, I thought it was mine. No, Dad. That's mine.
There you guys go. That's the bonus podcast material. I just wanted to say this. Today is very special. We have that's bonus podcast material, and trust me, I'll have Andrew give his feelings on Derek Carr now being the backup, and that'll set his ass off. And the
Why? What happened there?
You don't know that they're talking about Jameis Winston being the starter and Derek Carr being the backup?
Yeah, right.
All right. Hold on. This is the bonus content for the podcast people, because at the end of today's episode, which has never happened, I am respecting our video viewers. So first and foremost, go to fightnetradio.com, click on the button. In a couple of minutes, I'm going to restart the show and not talk about my whole dying. And since there's only Andrew's family who listens to the podcast, and probably Mig's 3 friends, that was douchey on my part. I admit it. But hey,
it's fine. Well, one friend at least, a homie Martin from work. That guy listens. I told him, he's like, all right, cool, I'll listen.
And what did he? Wait, hold on. We've got a new listener. Unlike our friend Sam Navajero, who's literally our European correspondent. And by the way, sucks for him, man. They have just fucking killed boxing in Australia from this shit. But shout out to Sam and his insightful feedback. Andrew and I have been looking at it. He is so pro Andrew, pro Migs. But his bottom line comment is, Lee, if you leave those two guys alone, it will be the dullest show of all time. I said, yeah, it could happen, but I'm going to try it probably. I'm on my deathbed at the moment, so I got to start trying combinations. I might even try my daughter out as the host. I mean, she's about to be 16, Andrew. I think she's ready. Let's just throw her ass into the fire. I teach her a couple of catchphrases, teach her a couple of voices. She's ready to go. What do you think? Our daughters host the show, Andrew. Think about this. Second generation Fight Net Radio.
Nope. My daughter won't do it. I know she won't do it.
All right. What about Junior? I have faith. Could you imagine the show with Junior in your spot?
Yeah.
Or would he just say, that fighter's stupid?
No.
I just feel like that would be his answer to every situation.
Yet. They're not ready yet. I'm not seeing anything on Winston either, so I think you're lying on that one.
Well, you don't know. It could happen. All right, so this is bonus content for you podcast people. We do it all the time, so we're going to give you your little moment of zen at the beginning. But I can't stress this enough. Today's video, first time ever coronavirus special. Go to fightnetradio.com, click on the Facebook link. There is the end of this show is literally video content of shit I saw that I couldn't believe it. I literally couldn't believe Top Rank was so desperate looking for content. We're going to do it. And then we're going to watch Hagler versus Hearn, which is literally the fight that made me love boxing. Like, it's the fight that made me love boxing. It's my favorite HBO 30 for 30. It's everything I care about in boxing. And Sam's already probably typing right now his response and review for this week. He goes, Lee, you're exposing the fact that you actually love and know about boxing. No, I don't. Okay? It's a stupid fight. They both fought really stupid and not smart, okay? I want to make this clear before we watch the fight. Hagler Hearns is literally two idiots destroying their careers by going full on, full out for 16 minutes. I don't care what anybody says. If they had both, tell me I'm wrong before we even get there. If Hearns had not used what made him great, which is the jab set up right hand, and kept Hagler off of him, right? Instead of going, fuck it, we're going to war, right? Do we all three agree this is the only fight in the history of boxing where guys literally from the first round went, fuck it, we're going to war?
Yeah.
At this level.
But I do have like a hypothesis to that. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I want to hear it.
I have a theory. So watching the awesome show on HBO, Legendary Nights, they go over the preparation for these guys leading up to the fight and talking about Hearns having somebody give him a massage in the dressing room, which pretty much left his body spent, honestly. And Emmanuel Stewart comes in, he's like, hey, what the fuck, get the fuck out of here, like, get the hell out of here. And by that point, it's too late, what's his name? Hearns is already pretty relaxed and everything, which is not good. No massages before a fight. So anyway, the point is, I think that Hearns knew that it's like, shit, you know what? That's probably a bad idea. I feel like shit. Let me just go in here, and I don't have much of a gas tank because I feel weak. Let me just go ahead and empty my fucking load and get this adrenaline dump out here. So he went straight up at Hagler, thinking maybe if I can surprise him, because I'm not going to be able to last the 12 rounds. I think he knew that his body wasn't going to be able to last the 12 rounds because of the massage that he got in the dressing room. So he's like, fuck it. So of course, Hagler wasn't going to step down. He's going to be like, oh, what? All right. So he stepped up as well, and it turned out to be a classic scrap. But I think that's exactly what happened. Hearns went into the fight knowing he was feeling kind of weak, so he was going to blow his load and fuck it, knowing he wasn't going to make it towards the end. But on the chance to be able to take Hagler out early, I think.
Andrew, what do you think?
The right hand, I agree with Miggs a little. The right hand is all Hearns had going into the fight. He gets hit by Hagler early, realizes he's not going to go the distance with this man, and goes balls to the walls trying to land his, best punch. It's all he had. It's all he had. Hagler's knocking out everybody at this point. Hagler's the undisputed middleweight champ. There's no arguing about it. And they go to blows early, and you never know. We're not in Hearns' body, but I mean, we know that Hearns' chin was not good, and it was probably that first time he got hurt that he turned on his engine and said he had to go for broke now because any minute he was going to go to sleep, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, it's a lights out. Light switch knockout. I mean, he just gets hit and he's done. He's out.
Yeah.
So
he's carried out of the too.
Yeah. That was sad.
This fight.
Yeah, that was sad.
I promoted it.
That was stupid. That was sad.
Did I promote this fight? Jesus, I can't even remember if I.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Top Rank did. Yes.
Of course I did, because I'm Bob.
Yes, it was you, Bob. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you guys want my health update?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you better believe it.
16 hook, a bowl of soup, 1 clam chowder. I've ordered some onion soup. I love the onion soup, especially when they put the cheese on the top. I like the big fat crouton on top too. And a lot of oysters. I'm not a young man. They don't have Viagra because it's got the COVID, the COVID shit on the Viagras now. So I'm just eating oysters for the whores. Just thought I'd share that. I want all of you listening on the podcast to go to the video page of fightnetradio.com and then click on Facebook and watch this amazing fight that I produced and probably made $1 bazillion. Is bazillion a real number, gentlemen?
I'm pretty sure it is.
You know, I'm trying to write humor in a very dark time in my life, gentlemen, and you guys are not really helping out. I'm just saying that. Let's get to the real show, shall we? Let's get going. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. This is why you should listen to the podcast, because you missed out on bonus content on Fight Net Radio right now. And all you have to do is go to fightnetradio.com. We will give you bonus content for listening to the show. And today, for you video viewers on our Facebook page, because we are the number one source on Facebook, Lee Honish, Fight Fiend Mix, follow him on Instagram, and Andrew Labouche. We do exclusive video content. Today, we are focusing our coronavirus. Everybody pop a Corona. By the way, this show's sponsored by Amsterdam Vodka Black. That's right. When you want to get drunk, don't get the blue label, don't get the yellow label, get the black label and go 100 proof vodka that tastes like absolute dog crap. Amsterdam Black Label. Today is video content day. We're at the end of the show. We're going to do Hegler versus Hearns, a couple of boxing movies you guys can watch while you're on lockdown. And lastly, my favorite, because Top Rank did it, not me, not my idea. I'm putting it on the screen right now. Can you fucking believe Top Rank in their boredom created the Rocky Madness tournament? They're technically on the second tournament. I already know who the champion of this is, but I'm going to let two boxing experts try to explain to me why we'll break this down. I actually have a very strong feeling about the Final Four and who actually wins this tournament, which would be the greatest boxing tournament in the history of boxing. But by the way, here's a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, Andrew. Isn't Andre Ward in this tournament named Danny Wheeler? Case done. Wait, case done. What, are we having a discussion? He's already won this tournament. All right, never mind. We'll come back to that later. Let's get started right away. You guys always seem to like it when I rile Andrew up. Andrew, how do you feel about Jameis Winston as your starter for the
Lions? That's not going to wow me up. There's nothing on that report. Yeah, if you find it, show me. I just put Raiders news.
I saw it today. I'm the only one looking at the news. I mean, as a person who has literally all of the COVID systems,
he's not smart enough. Jameis Winston's not smart enough to be in the NFL.
You're gonna say the guy that's been your last quarterback is the smart one? What are you talking about?
No,
Derek Carr?
Yeah. No, Jameis Winston, he got the coaches figured him out. He's done, bro. He's out. That's what happens with some of these quarterbacks in the NFL. The guys, and Derek Carr could possibly be that. Lee, if he doesn't have a good year, this is his sixth year, I think we're going into now. It could be a thing where the coaches have figured him out. They know what his strong points are. The defense can sniff that shit out, and he's not adapting. Jameis Winston's there. He's been on the decline for years. Last year, he hit rock bottom. They've always been reports about his intelligence, his IQ in the film room, and that's not what these NFL teams want anymore. The quarterback. You've got to be a certain level of decision making, right? They give you 2 seconds to look at the field and figure it out. And if you don't have that gift, you're not going to make it in this NFL. So no, I don't see Jameis Winston as a starting quarterback anymore.
I have to ask, Miggs.
Yes.
Do you have an NFL team?
I don't. I stopped watching NFL. Oh man.
Cool.
Huh?
So let me hit you up for these moments.
Okay.
It's obvious Andrew is a diehard Raider fan. And when the Raiders are doing well or doing shitty, I tend to bring in his best friend and former co-host just to fucking jab at that. But now that the Raiders are going to Vegas, I'm just going to give you a suggestion. Okay. You might want to get into the Raiders because that will piss off Andrew. And literally in my dying days of my coronavirus will make me so fucking happy in the fall. Because apparently you don't die fast from this disease. Apparently I have to die slowly, which is the more fun.
Oh, jeez. What's the time frame? What's the time frame?
Depends. It's when I can't smell or taste anymore. But, we'll keep track of it on Fight Net Radio. And for those of you listening or watching the video going, good, you're a dick. Hey, fuck you. I wish it on you. All right. I realize I made fun of everybody and said they had it. I realize the karmatic dilemma I've created. Let's get back to the back. By the way, Andrew, just for the record, because I love you, I don't even have a fucking quarterback for my team. Okay? I actually want to die before the Charger season starts at a brand new stadium because they don't have a fucking quarterback. This will be the worst fucking year in Charger history if they didn't get Brady. They didn't get anybody. I'm completely fucked. I'm going to get Jameis Winston. I guarantee it. Who is a fucking... Oh, who got Marcus Mariota? Isn't he with Raiderdom or something?
Yeah,
he's a Raider, right?
He's a backup.
Oh, there you go. That's what it was. You guys got Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, but
I apologize, Andrew.
No,
That's
he's
what
I
missed.
He played a backup last year on his own damn team.
Oh my God, he's a fucking starter. Wait, by the way, I don't have a quarterback. I'll take Marcus Mariota. What do you want?
Tannehill.
I'm willing to trade.
No. Tannehill took his job, and they had him. They were only having Mariota come in and run the ball. He was like the option, the QB option play. It was very sad where he's fallen, but no, he's not a starter anymore. He lost his job. So that's why
to Drew Brees actually get picked up the kid
Bridgewater, Teddy.
Yeah.
I believe he did by the Colts. I think Teddy Bridgewater plays for the Colts now or is that where Rivers went?
No, Rivers went to the Colts. He's the starter.
All right, so Bridgewater
he's officially the quarterback, and Tom Brady, which I can't even say with a deep breath, is now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback, which is just so fucking hilarious to say out loud. But I suspect, because I went back and watched an old ESPN 30 for 30 on YouTube, everything about him is that whole underdog, nobody believes in me. So I think he's lived under the shadow of under Belichick for so long that he wants to go he wants to go somewhere and go, yeah, I'm the fucking man. I can make any team. So he's literally going to the shittiest team. And by the way, this is where you fucked up, Tom. You've got a house in Malibu. You could have went to LA to a new stadium and taken the shittiest team all the way to the Super Bowl. You took Florida. Not a bad call. Good weather. But, Chargers are so fucked.
I'm telling you, I think the NFL gave up some ratings here. I mean, shit, Vegas gave up some club seats. We know that. Yeah, I think there was a lot of places Tom Brady could have went that would have done better for the NFL. This is why, sometimes people are like, oh, it's a conspiracy. Everything's a conspiracy. It's all fixed. Maybe it's not. Hey, what the fuck is Tom Brady doing in Tampa Bay? What? That team sucks. It has no history. You know what I mean? They won a trophy. They got it right once in their whole life. Like, I don't know, man.
Andrew? Is he one of my fighters?
Hey, to answer your question, Bridgewater went to Carolina. Cam Newton just got cleared on his health.
I'll take Cam.
Exactly.
I'll take Cam. I will take Cam,
so Cam
all
Newton
day.
is out
New
there.
stadium, Cam. We'll buy you a house. We'll buy you a house in Malibu.
And
what
it's
about
LA.
Newport Beach, Cam? You'll love Newport Beach.
Yes.
They love black people in Newport Beach.
Well,
they love them. By the way, that's
Cam,
a really funny joke for people who know Newport Beach.
Well, if you know Cam Newton, though, he's a different character. They might like Cam Newton. Cam Newton is
no. There's in Newport Beach. I still think there are signs that this is a colored fountain and this is a white fountain in Newport Beach. And I'm not being a dick about it.
No, you actually are. I don't know how you can say that.
Newport Beach. Fuck Newport Beach is what I'm saying. I guess I'm never going back to Newport Beach.
Yeah.
All right. What's your sport, by the way, outside of boxing, Migs? What's your secondary backup?
Well, I'm a fight fan, so it's like both MMA and boxing. Those are really my only two things. I used to watch other sports when I was a kid. Like I used to watch, basketball and football when I was a kid. I mean, the last time I watched an NFL game was that I cared about, like the 97-98 season. I was like a half-ass Niners fan. And
I'm gonna have to take you. I'm gonna take you over to a mutual friend's house when we do in season. Well, that's if I don't die. If I survive COVID, right? We have a mutual co-host where during the season, while we go watch fights, we go over to his house and record episodes. He happens to be the biggest Niners fan on the planet, and the two of you should probably have a really good time. But while we've got you on the line, are we still doing Khabib Logda Shamalama Ding Dong Dog. But is versus Ferguson, right? Is this shit still happening?
As far as I understand, it's still happening. Right now, they're telling the fighter to continue training. They're trying to pretty much build like the kick-ass of all kick-ass cards, kind of last minute. They're telling everybody to continue training. Last I heard, they're going to try to go internationally. They're not sure where yet. I think Abu Dhabi came up as a potential, but as far as I know, that big ass poster that's outside, or the banner, I'm not sure what it's called. That thing that they put up on the building, like they do at the MGM for Canelo fights. They have one of those up for Khabib and Ferguson at the UFC training facility, so that's still up, and it still shows that 18th of April date. So as far as I know, the fight's still on. It's not going to be in the US. They're telling the fighters to continue training, and it's still on, so it hasn't been called off yet.
There you go. That's why you guys listen to Fight Net Radio. That's Fight Fiend Miggs. He's our new MMA expert, because Bobby Capucci has got his head so far up Jeffrey Epstein's ass right now that I don't think we're ever going to get him to give us a betting line ever again. On the other side of the coin, that's Andrew Labouche, and he loves boxing so much more than me. It's almost ridiculous. My name's Lee Honish. I am the ringmaster of this whole thing. And if I don't die, I'm bringing this back to radio. I've decided I'm bringing this back to radio if I don't die from COVID, even though I literally have all the symptoms. But I digress. Go to Fight Net Radio. Click on Facebook. If you're listening to the audio, go to the video. Hey, buy a T-shirt. There'll be a memorial T-shirt shortly. Although Sam Navajero came up with some amazing ideas for T-shirts, Andrew, that I just thought were hilarious as shit. So I will look into those before I go on a ventilator. Let's move forward. Derek Jefferson in medically induced coma due to coronavirus. I'm not saying I picked this story because I believe I have all the symptoms. The reason I picked this up is because we're giving the most media exposure ever to Derek Jefferson, and all he had to do was get coronavirus to get this much media. That was shitty, but since I already have it, fuck it. It's a good joke. Former heavyweight world title challenger. Wasn't anything.
What? Did I sign him? Is he under contract with me? Wait, Derek who?
All right. Derek Jefferson is reportedly in a medically induced coma in a hospital due to coronavirus. The 52-year-old, how old are you going to be on Tuesday, Lee, for your birthday? 52? In Beaumont, Michigan, according to ESPN, Jefferson is the first notable boxer that has contracted the coronavirus. Jefferson is a rare big man who could fight on the inside. First of all, okay, look, I get it. But based on the number of people who are professional boxers, which, by the way, since I actually boxed once, if I actually contracted, would I not be the first reporter to get and record the coronavirus? Think about this, Andrew. Would, yeah. Andrew, there's an angle here. Would I not be the first notable boxing person? I don't even know what you call me, right?
A media member.
If I actually get it approved, like I got to hire people, like that's a press release. Like, by the way, the only reason people know about Derek Johnson, and here's the real shitty part because I've actually researched this, you got to actually call your publicist to put out a press release so that they know that Derek Jefferson is in a medically induced coma. There aren't people standing around waiting for Derek Jefferson to have, like, he's nobody. I'm not being shitty, and really trust me to the family. I'm not trying to be a dick about this. The only reason somebody knows about this is because somebody put out a press release. Seriously, am I wrong, Andrew? Would you like if Derek Jefferson?
No, the boxing world, the fighters themselves that fought with Derek Jefferson might have put something out, and yes, a media member then caught on.
So you're assuming that he fought a notable enough name that somebody would have taken the action.
He fought Klitschko.
You think Klitschko's going to take time out? I mean, I'm not dogging. I'm not dogging Klitschko, but let's be honest here.
Well, boxing's a kind of a close family, so yeah, he was known, and when you fought for the title and you have names against other. Look, there's Oleg Masagev, David Izon. Maurice Harris. All these guys are kind of known in the heavyweights back then. So,
All right.
yeah, he definitely. That
I
could've-
love the fact that you believe that all of these people aren't self-centered and that
No.
they care.
No, I just think that they gave a shout out to him if any of them heard it, and then maybe a boxing media said, "Who's that?" And he said, "Oh, you didn't know who Derek Jefferson was." Blah blah blah. And then, I mean, I don't think the man
God
paid
damn.
for his own press release on it.
No, I think that a vulture, but I don't like people who send out emails for a living. But that's, you know what? He literally made it to the point. Look, this is literally the most he's ever going to get talked about in his career. Nobody's doing a deep dive on this. No, I'm not being a dick. I mean, literally, he fought really well. I mean, Oleg Moskayev in his prime, that's a big ass fight. I mean, that's a serious fight. David Eizon in his prime, that's a big ass fight.
They wanted him. They wanted Eizon to fight Tyson, man. That dude was huge. Doesn't he have a big fight with Tua? Isn't he the one that goes crazy? Yeah, you might want to look at David Eizon.
You think Eizon went full David Tua? Wow, he lost his 3 last fights to Kendo, Messi. Oh, wow, way to go
Joe
out,
Messi,
bro.
holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, wow, that's the way to go out on your friggin' sword. There's David Tua. He lost to David Tua, builds himself back up, loses to Michael Grant. There's a name. Michael U.S. Grant. Does it
I remember
show,
that
does it
Eizon
show
guy
how
was
much I
big.
know about boxing when I actually know their nicknames? Because you guys have to tell me, because then it looks like I actually care about boxing at that moment. But I believe it was Michael U.S. Grant, correct?
Yeah, he fought Lennox Lewis. It was like the biggest heavyweight fight of all time. Lewis,
and he fought Galata too. He fought Galata as well.
Yeah, then Lewis
then he goes on a
cheated
winning
and hit him behind the head twice.
Oh yeah, and then held his head down as he uppercutted him.
Yeah, man, what the fuck? HBO's like, oh, what a great knockout! Like, really?
Yeah. No one even mentioned the fact that he was. Yeah, it looked like a fucking Muay Thai. He like held his head down with one. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like the referee didn't say jack shit, and down fucking goes Grant. Oh jeez, it was bad.
I'm sure Lewis had a big payday for HBO right after that. They couldn't stop that payday, but it was like, I don't know, Lewis. Well, he looked like he chopped him behind the head, but whatever.
Here you guys go. So Derek Jefferson is the first coronavirus person boxing notable.
He's in a coma. It's not good.
Well, no, you medically induce it. All right, Andrew. I know this.
Oh, okay.
Since I'm already having a problem breathing myself. So it gets real shitty to breathe. Okay. It's like somebody stands on your chest all the time. Right. So, and by the way, for those of you thinking Lee's making light of this, no, I'm not. I'm fucked. I'm just accepting it at this moment. I'm just leaning into it. Here's the thing. Based on the number of fighters, I guarantee he's not the only one, but it's nice to give a shout out to a guy. We do this, and Andrew and I have done it historically. Anybody who gets hurt in boxing, it's fucked up. The community is very tight. You guys should listen. By the way, if I get it, you guys will all laugh and dance on my fucking grave, which is hilarious, and I highly recommend to everybody who's been ripping my ass off. Moving forward, this is my favorite story of the week. Bob Arum warns boxing fans to leave Manny Pacquiao alone, calls him an old man and not competitive with Terrence Crawford. Now, Miggs, you haven't been around for this. Andrew doesn't want me to read the story. Andrew wants me to do Bob Arum doing Bob Arum actual quotes. I'm just calling it out because I believe we have a new fan base based on all the shut-ins who are now home. So I'm going to do this because it literally makes Andrew's entire day. Are you ready, Andrew?
Yes.
By the way, with the corona, it's really hard to do Bob. Hold on. I need a shot of Amsterdam Black Label. When you're ready to get fucked up, do it correct. All right.
Pacquiao doesn't want to fight him. It's a fucking pussy. All right, let's just get to it. Leave Pacquiao alone. He's an old man. He doesn't want to fight Crawford. He didn't want to fight him when I was promoting him. It's no disgrace. Pacquiao is just fucking old. I mean, what do you want me to say about the guy? He doesn't like soup. He doesn't like hookers. Well, yeah, he actually likes hookers. But here's what I'm saying. Pacquiao's not fighting Crawford because Pacquiao is not competitive with Crawford. He's a great fighter still, right? He could beat any of those PBC shitbags. I mean, seriously, he could fight somebody named Garcia all day long, but competitive with Crawford?
Reaction, Andrew.
I think what we've seen here in the last few weeks is that Mikey Garcia and Manny Pacquiao is probably going to get announced here whenever this Corona thing passes. Bob Arum has now thrown Mikey Garcia under the bus, saying he's not going to pay him what he's asking for. He can't sell a ticket. Eddie Hearn can waste his money. And now Manny's too old. So it looks like Bob already knows what's coming down the road here.
Miggy.
Yeah, we knew this fight was coming. We knew that right after Garcia beat Vargas, we knew that Pacquiao that's happened. I don't think it's a good idea. I think Manny would fucking smoke him. But I still to this feel that Arum is protecting Crawford from the rest of the fucking dudes. I'm pretty sure he could beat some of the ABC guys. I don't think he could beat Spence. I don't think it's going to happen.
Spence is pretty much. Let's be honest. Spence pre-car crash, I agree. It's a competitive fight. Spence post-car crash, really?
And not only that,
he'll have plenty of time to recover.
You know what What I don't like about the Crawford Spence matchup is it seemed to always be Spence who didn't want that fight. He really turned me off when he started the whole "you're on the wrong side of the street" bullshit.
Yeah.
Look, Crawford's good. I get it though. He's not as he hasn't shown as much pound for pound ability at the welterweights. One opposition. You start with that. He gets a lot of what he's done in the lower weight divisions. So I would like to see Crawford in there with one of the bigger guys, but I don't see anyone really beating him. And Spence, while it was a great fight, I would have had Crawford still the favorite. And then with him not really wanting the fight, kind of just makes me seem that they knew all along Crawford was the better fighter, at least at that point. Doesn't mean it's going to be that way his whole career, because I do not think Crawford and Spence are on the same timeline, right? Crawford's a lot more seasoned than Spence was at this time when they wanted to make the fight. So you also have that part of the matchup.
Bob went on to say,
Pac-Man chooses Keith Thurman last July instead of, despite being 10 years older, Thurman, right? Pacquiao produced a brilliant, that was the word I was going for, performance to win by split decision, even though it was unanimous. But those fucking PBC guys always protect their fighters anyway. I mean, it was a unanimous decision. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. I was at home with like 25 hookers eating soup. And the reality was, I thought Manny Pacquiao won the WBA Super Diamond Gold Platinum belt, literally, hands down in the welterweight championship of the world.
Andrew, I was in Vegas. We talked about the fight the very next day. What did you think? Was Manny Pacquiao that much better than Keith Thurman?
Than Keith Thurman. No, actually, remember, Manny gets tired in that fight. Keith Thurman starts making a push late. Actually rocked Manny in the 9th or 10th round, I thought. So no, it wasn't that's why we kind of thought Pacquiao would lose his next big fight if it was against Spence or Crawford. I think that's what we talked about the next day, that you did see age in Manny against Keith Thurman. It was a great win for him. Keith Thurman's undefeated.
Are you sure? I feel like I was out buying a hooker during the fight. I'm sure I was watching it, right?
Yeah, I hope. I don't know.
I think I was at the Orleans, and I think I got a suite, and I think I was watching it.
Yeah, that's all on you, buddy.
Yeah, I know. This is why your wife won't ever let you out with me again, right?
Oh,
Me single is not a good thing in Vegas.
Not a good thing, nope.
Not a good thing. And the fact that literally the only listeners to the podcast are your family members, which is just hilarious. They're like, is he joking? I want to be at a family reunion where people just come up to Andrew and go, "Is he serious or is he making a joke?" Or like, Dana White's calls boxing a mess and isn't sure if it can be fixed. Now, I know Dana's voice. I can't do Dana's voice, but I've decided for the show that I'm going to introduce Dana White as a character because he's just going to do Zuffa boxing, and I can't stop it at this point. So I have decided, for those of you who have been longtime listeners, Dana White is going to be a prototypical white guy with a stick up his ass.
But when are they going to do Zuffa boxing? Because we're in 2020 now.
Hey, Andrew,
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew, stop asking about Zuffa boxing, okay? First of all, fuck you, all right? By the way, Migs, it's not that far off. Am I wrong?
No, you just gotta say it's fucking illegal in the exact same voice.
Illegal, all right, guys?
There you
Let's
go.
just get this square, all right?
Yeah.
First of all, I'm talking about Ferguson versus Nagdabog, all right? We're going to do it on a boat, and we're going to make $1 billion because there's no boxing, no MMA right now, and I'm the only guy who's got the balls to do it. I want to thank our sponsors, Corona and Harley Davidson, right off the top. That is fucking old school, fucking callback shit, Andrew. You just don't know. Slapping too.
For him?
Yeah,
Dana
for
White?
MMA. That actually, the joke only worked for Migs because of what I actually said were the sponsors, and the Harley thing was hilarious. In August, Dana White proclaimed he conducted a press conference in October introducing Zuffa boxing, blah, blah, blah. So this is the big thing, right? He got banged basically by the coronavirus, right? I hate speaking negatively about the sport of boxing, other than the fact that it's a mess. We all know it's a mess. We all agree it's a mess. I agree it's a mess. I'm kind of with him.
Yeah,
of
course.
Is that white pride? I don't want Andrew's friends to go, Lee, you're siding with
But
white people.
can we all agree that 20 years ago they said the UFC was going to take over boxing? 20 fucking years ago?
I agree.
Can we agree on
but
that?
who really believed that? Who really believed that? I mean, come on.
Oh, the whole world. What are you talking about? The whole media.
You know what?
The
wanna
whole
know what I
media.
believe?
ESPN, Yahoo. What do you mean? Every fucking white
All
media member thought the UFC was going to take over boxing. Seriously. The whole mainstream shit thought the UFC was going to take over boxing. We are now in 2020. 2020. Tito Ortiz versus Liddell was a long time ago. And he still wants to talk about boxing? The fuck out of here, dude.
Let him go.
Well, I don't even think he's gonna do boxing anymore. Like he's already having cold feet about it.
Dude, they missed their opportunity. Their opportunity was Conor McGregor. He should have started their platform on Conor McGregor trying to be a champion in boxing. They would have won millions. Instead, they take him back to that sport. He gets his ass kicked again, and now they're nobodies. Now they got some guy with cauliflower ears trying to call out Floyd Mayweather in a fucking ring. And it's not going to work.
Hey. My cauliflower ears are a pride thing with me, Andrew. Do not shit on them.
Conor McGregor
or your nephews.
Conor McGregor had knockouts in the octagon that made people think he was a striker, a boxer, however you want to title him. They had the fight with Aldo. He had
better than the Raiders.
Push going into this fight. This other guy has fucking cauliflower ears. He dry humped fucking Conor McGregor the whole night. Like, no, I'm good. You're not gonna do shit to Floyd. Now, if you get to tackle Floyd and dry hump his legs, yes, you're all good. We're in. You're gonna do great. But no, if that's not a part of it, sorry, you're out.
No, that ain't gonna happen. There's no way no way Dana's gonna let Khabib fight Floyd in a boxing fight. Hell no.
No, there's no point. That's not even
listen, guys, it's fucking illegal. All right, just shut the fuck up. All right, that fight's gonna happen. I've already talked to Floyd Mayweather and his people, and once he gets over the death of his uncle, and he gets over the death of Kobe Bryant, and once he gets over the death of
and his ex-girlfriend.
what else? Well, yeah, he had some flowers die in his garden. All right, he's a very sensitive guy. All right, once he gets his shit back together in 2022, he's going to be fighting in the octagon for Zuffa boxing. Let's get it.
They could have went after Pacquiao. They could have reached out to Daz and went after a Triple G fight with Conor McGregor. There was avenues for Gennady Golovkin and McGregor. There was avenues for Dana White. He did not have to take McGregor back. He shouldn't have. Their pay-per-view numbers are great. Floyd stretched the fight, so then everyone was like, well, shit, He got beat, but he didn't do as bad as I thought he was going to do. He's, we're all in. They could have gave him Gabe Rosado, gave him some. Hey, Lee, what did I say? Chavez Jr. Chavez Jr. Great fucking challenge for McGregor. I kind of think McGregor beats Chavez Jr. at this point in his career. Who knows though? But Dana White had his opportunity. I don't know who the fuck he brings over here now. Nobody. They're not known. No one in the UFC is known. 20 years later, they're still not known.
Well, he said he's going to start his own promotion, his own boxing promotion. So I don't think he's going to do any crossovers yet.
Well, now he's not going to do it.
I don't
right?
think it's
So
going to
now
happen.
he's
I don't think it's going to happen. He's got cold feet now. Yeah.
Well, that's what this is all about. Like, first of all, I get that everybody from Bob Arum, the only one who's really actually been quiet, and I don't want to say his name out loud, he might work for a promotion that is based on a color, and based on the Olympic gold medal he might have gotten. If we say it too long, he's going to show up and he's just going to start shit. I mean, seriously, he's just going to start shit, and I don't want to get that started. The reality is Mayweather is trying to keep in the spotlight. Floyd's trying to stay. Mayweather's in the spotlight. Yeah, everybody is, right? Like, they're trying to stay relevant, and I get why Dana's doing it, right? He's got a fight in a couple of weeks with literally the fight that all of us, I got to be honest, as a guy who does jiu-jitsu and boxing and grappling and MMA, and I've done it. I'm fucking jacked up about Ferguson versus Monogdadov.
Well, yeah, it's been canceled like 3 times or 2 times before. It's like, all right, let's get
if this fight actually happens, just put him on a fucking island, Dana. I don't give a fuck. Like, just go and rent an island off the coast of California with no people and 8 people shooting it. Like, I'll bring my camera, bro. All right, I'm infected, so not me. But I'm just saying, like, you could pull this shit off with 8 people and a ref and keep it so that people can see that, like, this is a great, right now, if Dana pulls off this fight, it's 2 weeks from today. If Dana, I'm saying this right now, quote my words, because nobody ever does. It's like me picking a fight and the round. Nobody ever does that either. But if WWE pulls off WrestleMania, they're going to do 12 million views. If Dana pulls off Monogdadov and Ferguson, that's like it's literally millions and millions of views. Like, he's pulling a rabbit out of his ass if he can pull off this fight. Like, it's literally that big a fight. And he has done no promoting other than going, I'm kind of done with boxing. It's fucked up. The place is a mess. I don't think I can do it. Mayweather doesn't want to fight any of my guys. Fuck it. Mayweather doesn't want to fight anybody because apparently his ex-girlfriend, his flower garden, his gardener, his uncle, Kobe Bryant, the dude who lives next door to him in Beverly Hills, and some guy named Leon all recently died. So he's quitting. I'm still stuck on this.
But that platform wasn't going to work either.
He was scheduled for 2 fights
having
in 2020.
UFC ground
Are you
people,
fucking kidding me?
No, but if you're telling me that his plan was to fight UFC guys versus Floyd this whole time, that's a stupid game plan too, because that circus only comes to town once. Nobody in the boxing world is buying Floyd versus another UFC fighter. They're not. Unless it's in the fucking octagon. Don't make me yell about this shit again. That's the only way.
I love it. You didn't get fired up about the fucking Raiders going to Vegas.
No, man, I'm over them. I'm over them. Fuck
in Vegas. I'm going to buy season seats, and Migs and I are going to go to every game, man.
There's not even, you wish. We'll see.
I'm totally going to. If we don't get a quarterback, I'm going to be the biggest goddamn Raiders fan on this show just to fucking jam it down your throat.
It's not even, I don't know what you're jamming, though.
What would you hate more, me being a Raiders fan in Vegas or me being a Chargers fan? What is more irritating to a Raiders fan?
If I cared, it'd be a Chargers fan, but I don't care.
Really?
They're in Vegas.
Right, go ask. You know what? I think you need to ask your wife about this. Lee switched and became a Raiders Las Vegas fan instead of a Chargers fan. I think your wife would straight up say, "Fuck Lee, cut him." I just know your wife. She's kind of like that. That's why I love your wife. She's ride or die. You married very well, Andrew. I really wish I could marry that well. All right, we're done with all that. For those of you listening to the podcast, go to the video page. Your show cuts off right here. Okay, I'm not being a dick about it, but what we're about to do next has shit to do with audio. I mean, it's all video from here on out. I'm going to keep the recorder running, and when you go, I didn't see what was on the screen. I don't get what you guys are looking at. All right, well, fuck you. I warned you. Go to fightnetradio.com, click on Facebook, watch the fucking video, okay? We're going to do stuff that is video related at this moment. Sorry to say it, but we have made it so pro podcast. And I don't want to break it to you guys on the podcast page because you're not sharing it with your friends. Andrew, is our Facebook page not fucking killing it every time we put up a video that's like an hour or 2 hours long? You've seen the numbers. How we doing?
Yeah, we
How
done
do you
good.
like us now?
We done good.
And I remember when I signed Miggs to a contract, he goes, well, do you think you can get people to look at my shit? Yeah, I think it's a possibility. And
It's possible.
I don't have to be Logan Paul. By the way, shout out to Logan Paul. If you want to fight at this point, since I'm dying, I'm down for the fight. All right.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you on the podcast, you can keep listening, or you can go to fightnetradio.com, click on Facebook. This is the moment. You want to go to Facebook and go watch the video. The first part is going to be very short, which is going to lead into the next two sections, which includes Marvin Hagler versus Tommy Hearns. But more importantly, the fucking top rank Rocky Balboa Super 16. I don't know how else to describe the insanity of what they actually did. They created a Super 16, Andrew, of Rocky characters. All right, without even looking at it, Andrew, if you had to say off the top of your head, Super 16 of all Rocky characters all the way through, who would you pick as the winner?
Rocky? That's a stupid question.
Really? Why? Because
Yeah.
he gets smarter to the end of the film?
No, because he's Rocky and he wins because it's his fucking
No,
movie.
Andrew, I love you, bro.
No,
I mean,
and it's going to be against
What?
Apollo Creed's son. No, I don't fuck Lee. Hey, I say Rocky.
oh my God, I'm already
You can't-
excited to do this. Well, no, I'm excited to do it already. All right. And by the way, that's awesome. Because by the time you get to Apollo Creed, what is he, like 180 years old with cancer?
Yeah,
love
no,
the
this
fact-
has to be a pound for pound thing. This isn't a time
No,
frame.
it
'cause
isn't.
You're right.
They're doing all right. Let's just say in their prime, because I don't think they make
Yeah,
that
yeah, prime
distinction.
for pound for pound.
All right,
This
let's
is
just
pound
say
for pound.
they're in their prime. These guys are fighting. Look, fucking Spider Rico is in the tournament.
I know, and
okay?
it's not Thunderlips.
Fucking
Thunderlips is
Thunderlips.
not even a
Oh,
fucking
jeez.
boxer.
I know, right? Oh, what the fuck?
What? You fought Spider Rico? You get a hook. You get a hook. It's a fucking shitty win, Rocky. What are you talking about?
Rock.
Rock. What are you talking about?
Oh my God, I miss Burgess Meredith, right? Oh wow, there's a shout out for my knowledge of film movies.
Oof.
All right, so for you podcast people, I'm gonna keep recording, and if you go, it doesn't really work without the visuals. Hey, go fuck yourselves. I told you to go to FightNet Radio. I'm telling you right now, you can either listen because you're driving and your life sucks, or you can stop and go to FightNet Radio, click on Facebook, and go watch the video, skip down to the very end, and start with the 5 best movies to watch because we're all stuck at home. I watched this, and I have discovered something, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to probably alienate probably one fan, Andrew. The people of Georgia are the stupidest fucking people on the planet. I'm saying it right now, all right? I saw this list already. There is no way the two of you, as legitimate boxing fans, can predict what literally the 5 best movies are to watch and in their order. Like, I was literally trying to guess with each one, and I went, you're fucking kidding me. Like, this wouldn't even be my guess on a bad day. All right. So I'm going to scroll through this slowly because we're all stuck at home. What would be, Andrew, what's your number 5 boxing go-to movie? Like the lower end of the food chain. Pick anyone. It doesn't matter.
Rocky.
You're not gonna
I
get
know it's still gonna be the Rocky.
No,
movie.
Rocky's
Bro, I don't-
is going to be all right.
Hey,
okay.
I don't really like the movie Southpaw.
By the way, number five, Southpaw.
Oh, yeah, that's a good movie. It's
There
not
you
that
go,
bad.
Andrew. You nailed it. Southpaw is a fucking joke.
No,
Okay.
yeah. This is the one where she gets shot right in the fucking
Yeah.
the press.
Where is By the way, I've seen the list. Where's $1 billion baby? Right?
Yeah,
I'd put
$1 billion baby. They got
right
the
here,
trainer.
$5 million right here.
Hey, they got the trainer fucking ODing his fighter, and in Southpaw they got the opponent fucking busting a cap in the.
This is
Yeah,
why I could
come
safely
on, man.
No, this is why I'm going to be a dick.
I
Coronavirus.
kind of like this
By the
movie.
way,
I gotta
all
admit,
the
I
people,
liked it.
by the way, all the people of Georgia, if you're the guy who wrote this is indicative of the people who live in Georgia, and you guys think the number 5 boxing movie of all time is Southpaw,
yeah.
no. By the way, Rocky 4 is not on this list, and I can
Oh,
agree.
what the hell?
All three of
Hey.
us will agree that
Hey.
Drago versus Rocky is.
And you
shit.
know they had the biggest flaw of all time is their billboard. He's in the orthodox stance. Fucking dumbasses.
Hey.
Oh,
The movie's called
I don't wanna break
Southpaw.
this- I don't want to break this because I've been listening to this show. Did you know that I promoted Rocky versus Drago? Did you know that? I promoted it. I'm
And
just
nah,
saying it
man,
out
it-
loud.
I don't
also
know.
promoted Creed Drago. That went horrible. I mean,
you promoted the
I think
death
I-
of Creed.
well, I don't want to break it to you. Did you not see the comparison to Tyson Fury and Apollo Creed?
That's
Yeah,
a great
fair.
callback. That is a fucking great callback, Andrew. That is a joke callback, and that's why people listen to this show. Who would make this the number 5 over Rocky 4, $1 million baby, which doesn't even make the list? All right, I'll go out on a limb. Rocky 3. Okay, I put Rocky 3 above Southpaw.
Let's go.
Come on.
What's number 4?
Oh,
This is already depressing.
Creed made only number 4, which I thought should kind of be higher. And by the way, I don't like Creed as much as Creed 2, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'm going to be brutally honest about this film. I thought Creed 2 was more boxing related than Creed. I mean, Creed is great because of the angst of the kid of, I'm fighting under my daddy's shadow, right? Creed, for those of you who've never seen it, and if you aren't, you're not a boxing fan, is the story of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. trying to be his father, but never really rising to that occasion.
Yeah,
In
it's
real
like, I
life,
mean,
well, let's be honest. In real life, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. never attains the same status of his father, which would have made Creed 1 a much better film. Like, he should have lost. He should have never. Well, he did lose to. Well, he lost to literally the correct guy, right? So it is, from my perspective. Tell me I'm wrong, Andrew. Creed is the story of Chavez Jr.
Oh, yeah, another one I really didn't like, and I told you this many times why I didn't like Creed. They just have way too similarities to fucking Rocky. All right,
yeah,
They
it was
do
the same story. It was the same fucking story.
It was the same story. The only thing they did different was like that dirt bike scene where he had his friends and him were driving dirt bikes down the
No,
road.
that's too. And
Is
it's-
that too?
Yeah, that's quads.
Oh,
They're
really?
riding quads in Philadelphia.
Oh shit! I thought that was
No,
part
you're
one.
wrong. No, wait, hold on. You're right. It's Creed 1, and they're doing
Oh,
while
shit.
he's running down the street instead of the kids running behind him. It's quads following, him,
I mean,
which is
Ugh.
that's pretty stupid.
and they
But
were
by
all
the way-
brand new. Hey,
but by
they're
the
all
way-
brand new. Like no,
Yeah.
there was like
Let's put a different spin on this for boxing fans. Imagine, right, Michael B. Jordan as Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. trying to be his father, right?
no.
He
I hear you
hires
on that.
his dad's trainer and still loses at the end, just like Chavez Jr. Come on, it's much better that way. Number 3, The Fighter. All right, I got to give you credit. I would have put this in my top 10 because, well, I like Mark Wahlberg and I love Christian Bale. The Fighter, and by the way, they put number 1 as Raging Bull. Number 3, number 4 would probably be Raging Bull and The Fighter, somewhere in that combination. Because let's be honest, if you put great fighters fucking people up and getting fucked up and having a fucked up life, which is I love all you fight fans, but the reality of your fight favorites, they live the most fucked up life. Tell me I'm wrong. Miggs, you're closer to it. You go to the gyms. Are these people not living fucked up lives half the time?
Yeah, dude. It's like, I mean, you don't know what's fucking in the gym, time outside of the fucking gym. It's like one thing or another, man. It's not good. It's not good. Just so you know.
I can't wait for the Adrian Broner story. Somebody's going to make that into a movie.
Who's
tell
going
me
to play
I'm
him?
wrong,
Who's going to play
Andrew.
him?
That's a good question. Who would play Adrian?
Who the hell's going to play Adrian
Probably
Broner?
Michael B. Jordan at this point.
It's going to
Because
be
he's the only
fucking
one-
Danny DeVito and blackface.
I think he needs a good ending. I don't know if the ending is good enough for Hollywood yet. Where I'm talking prison, I'm talking death.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's like the Tiger King. Like you have to go to jail. Like at the end of the story. Yeah. By the way, has everybody watched the Tiger King? Shout out to everybody on lockdown.
I started.
Oh my God, it's the best! I watched it straight. I couldn't. Andrew, how long have you been with? You've been with me for what? 13 years, like some crazy number of times.
Yes.
Like I couldn't write that story if I created it literally out of my. I watched it going. This is the craziest fucking shit I've ever watched.
I would it's amazing how these people, and I haven't watched it all. I don't want to get. I'm just going to talk about the first.
How far are you?
Just the first, because I want Christina to watch it.
Wait. No spoiler. When you get to the next Tiger Trainer and he's got a commune of hot chicks and he's turned it into a cult, it doesn't even make sense anymore. It's like La La Land.
See, what I wanted to ask is how the hell are they feeding these animals? You know, they're like, oh, I got a pet tiger. It's like, okay, so how are you feeding this pet tiger?
Address it by episode 3 or 4. Okay, they literally go to Walmart and all the markets and they're buying all the throwaway food tigers. They do.
All right.
They actually
It has to be something. Because it's tons.
Yeah, tons.
I mean, Mick, once this man has this man goes, I have 186 big cats on my property. Who the fuck is?
You're not even deep into this yet, Andrew. You've got to watch it when you get to the end.
I am. I'm just amazed at people can do this.
I expect on my birthday, Andrew, because it'll take you till Tuesday. I expect you to send me a text going, "That was mind-blowing shit." It was when you get to the end, you're like, "What the fuck?"
We only have a certain time frame we could watch shows like this, right? You got all these little ones, so that's what's stopping us from just doing the whole fucking.
All right, are we
marathon.
all agreement in Fight Net Radio, Dumb, that above Southpaw you should watch either $1 Million Baby or Rocky IV? Do we all agree on that?
Yeah, Rocky IV, please. Rocky IV, that's a must.
Number 4, either watch Creed 1 or Creed 2. I think they're both tight. I don't think they're that bad. And then number 3 and number 2 are fuck the Fighter. It's great.
One complaint that I have about the Fighter, and I've mentioned this before, I hate it when they find actors who do not look like the fucking real people. It's like, goddamn, can you get any further away from Mickey Ward than fucking Mark Wahlberg, dude? What the fuck? He doesn't even look like him. It's like that should irk me so much.
Not even the same complexion.
All right,
man,
but I'm gonna say this about Mickey Ward. Mickey Ward is smiling at the fact that Mark Wahlberg's playing him.
Right.
Okay?
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, look,
he only got the spot because like he's like a fucking Irish descent or some shit.
His brother isn't his brother Dickie's played. Who played it?
Oh, Christian Bale. Christian Bale,
for God's sakes, Batman.
When I looked up the real Dickie, I was like, really?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what? Oh, jeez.
All right, so number 3 and number 2, no matter how you put it, The Fighter and Raging Bull. Raging Bull is not my number 1 pick. The number 1 pick for Fight Net Radio, no question, right? It's got to be Rocky. Fuck, come on.
It's got to be Rocky. You know, I took some shit on the Raging Bull one.
Gotta be Rocky.
I took some shit the other day when
I promoted Rocky in his first fight with Apollo Creed when he threw out the gold coins. Did you not see Tyson throwing out the gold coins? That's because I promoted Rocky versus Apollo Creed in fight number 1. You know, I don't know why they portrayed me as like a fat Jewish guy. I'm not Jewish. What the fuck? I'm a New Yorker. I admit that, but I'm not fat. Well, okay, I'm fat and I like soup and I kind of look like the actor, but that's not the point. All right. The fact is, Rocky 1 is the closest real fight ever created on the silver screen. And did you know that I produced that film? I think. I was doing cocaine at the time. It's the 70s.
I believe you, Bond. I believe you.
Do we not agree Rocky is the greatest fight film? Right down to putting the Nasonex up his nose before the fight. Like, there's no reason for that sequence.
Well,
it
won an Oscar. That's all you have to say.
That's all you have to say. Name another fight film that actually pulled it off.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack, the freaking soundtrack. Hello. Shit.
But didn't it won an Oscar best movie though, right? It was the best movie of that year. Like there's not a lot of movies that have that title.
Yeah. And for the record, I'm not crapping on Raging Bull for Raging Bull fans. Raging Bull is the shit, okay? And the other one that's not on this list that somehow might even make number 5, Cinderella Man is dead the fuck on, okay? I can watch
Cinderella Man. There's a good one. That's a
dead
good one.
on every fucking time, man. Every time. The story of a guy who had everything, was the champion, hurts himself, works on the dock, fights his way back with tons of fight footage, for God's sakes. Like, there isn't a lack of him training and fighting, right? And hurting. All these films rely on a basic premise. Champion, hurt, loss, train, comeback, right?
Yeah.
Southpaw. How does Southpaw... Fucking people at Georgia, go fuck yourselves. Southpaw.
Might have been a young guy. Maybe it's a young guy who wrote this list.
All right, McGregor Rollin, contributor 5 hours ago on March 26th. Go fuck yourself from Fight Net Radio. You're out of your fucking mind. Like, how does Southpaw make it over Cinderella Man, Rocky IV? I'll even go Rocky III. Jesus Christ. The Clubber Lang
Rocky III
is Rocky III is the classic story, right? A guy comes back, lets himself get sloppy, gets knocked out. Wait, hold on. That sounds like Anthony Joshua. That just played out in real life. Are you fucking kidding? Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal? He couldn't throw a punch of his. I'll give you Creed because I love the Chavez Jr. story. And by the way, the only film that's not on here that should be on here, because I put Migs on it. Where's Maivia? Where's Maivia?
Oh, Maivia, yeah. Dude, that is a killer fucking documentary. Everybody, I'm telling everybody who I know that are boxing fans.
Now because I put you on it.
Yeah, dude, that shit, like, I left a knot in my stomach, man. I was watching that, like, damn it. WBC motherfucker.
Maivia fucked me up so bad when I watched it. I went, I must fuck with the WBC until the day I drop dead. That is the shittiest shit I've ever seen. Shit on the side of a shit with the side of shit. Maravilla, for any of it, it's still on Netflix. Go watch it. Sergio Martinez literally got fucked and then fed to Miguel Cotto with a bad knee. It is better than Creed, better than any movie on here because it's real life.
You know, there's an active fighter named Dillian White right now that's about 3 years as a WBC.
Well, Dillian needs to win a title. And then, wait, I'm saying this right now because if I live through my coronavirus, Andrew, I'm telling you, I'm producing the Dillian White story right now. I'm buying all the rights. If he wins a title, I'm telling you, he is the greatest character in boxing history. Bar none. Well, Chavez Jr., if he got a real title, might even be more entertaining. But Dillian White, if he actually pulls off a heavyweight title, might be the best story in boxing history because I've never seen somebody get fucked that hard. I mean, Sergio Martinez got fucked up the ass, raw, dry, and somebody spit on the back of his head while it was happening. I mean, tell me I'm wrong, Migs. You watched the movie. Yeah. Is that not the most bad, man? Like, he literally goes to the WBC Presidential Council and goes, what the fuck, Suleiman?
Yes. And then when DeBella brought out that, like, contract or something on a handkerchief, I was like, what the fuck? For those of you who have not seen it, please go catch it. Maravilla is a dope ass. I'm telling everybody, go watch it. It's a good one.
I'm trying to hook everybody up. All right. We have one more thing before we get to our main event of the evening for you video people. This is the funniest shit ever. Top Rank, trying to create content, created the Rocky Madness tournament. We're going to do it right now. We're going to get it over with. and we're smarter than all. I've actually seen the next round based on the fight fans, and fight fans, you're just voting with your heart. You're just idiots. I'm just being perfectly honest. They were. I saw the next round. It's all based on that. So Rocky got a bye and Adonis got a bye to go to the second round of the Elite Eight. Okay. So what we're talking about in the first round, I'll start with you, Andrew. Mason Dixon, Tommy Gunn.
Yeah, that's a hard one to pick. I guess I'll go Mason Dixon because he actually was the heavyweight champ of the world. Tommy Gunn,
right?
Yeah, Tommy Gunn's a prospect that really never gets there.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'll go
Tommy
Mason
Gunn was
Dixon.
an inflated record in the movie. For those of you who don't get
Yeah.
it, I'll go to you, Migs. You may vote.
I'm gonna go with Tommy Gunn. I feel I'm gonna go with the Great White Hope on this one.
It's nice, but he was a PBC fighter, no doubt in my mind.
Mason with the padded record.
I get the third vote. I'm gonna go Mason Dixon, who's gonna face Rocky in round 2. Union King. Oh
hey, right on there, MD. Right, MD.
All right. It's really hard with this.
Oh,
there you go.
That's the coronavirus kicking in. That's the coronavirus kicking in.
Coronavirus kicking in.
I'm dying. All right. Give me a hope. All right. Let me try with the highlighter. M. E. Is that better?
There you go. Yeah.
It's really hard. All right. Next round. Danny Wheeler, a.k.a. the greatest motherfucking fighter of all time, who actually fought in a fucking Super
SOG.
Versus Union Kane. Wow. I start with you, Andrew. Danny Wheeler, I guess you have to base it on the character, I guess.
Yeah, this one's hard for me. I really don't know. These are both Creed opponents, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
But Danny Wheeler was very close to the actual character that Danny Wheeler.
And once again, I'm going to go with the champ because Wheeler's the champ. I will go with Wheeler over Kane.
All right, Migs, who do you like in the next round?
Yeah, I hate to agree with everybody, but I'm going to have to go with Wheeler as well.
Yeah,
I don't even have to vote and break a tie here, which helps me out. But by the way, I'm a Danny Wheeler fan, and I'm a fan of his real life too. All right, Ricky Conlon, aka.
Hey Lee.
Yeah.
Danny Wheeler actually goes on the line right off of the middle of him and Union Kane, and then Thunder Lips and Conlon are going to go for.
Yeah, that's the next fight. That's the fight below it. I got
this. Oh, okay, got you.
Ricky Conlon versus Thunder Lips. All right, so Thunder Lips is Hulk Hogan, basically. And Ricky Conlon, a.k.a. Who played? Wait, why am I blanking? Ricky
That's Conlon, Tony Bellew. That's
Tony Bellew. Right. Who literally destroys Adonis Creed in the first movie. I don't care what anybody said. He destroyed him. He didn't even train for the fight, and he still won the fight. All right, Ricky Conlon versus Hulk Hogan in the next fight. I don't know why they threw in Thunder Lips, Andrew, but apparently we've got the Dana White match here, right? So I'm going to guess that Thunder Lips is allowed to be like he was in Rocky 3. So if we take that into account, who are you picking in this fight? Ricky Conlon or Hulk Hogan?
No way am I going a wrestler in a boxing ring, so it's Ricky Conlon all day.
Not. What a dick. All right, Migs, are you taking Ricky Conlon, who has the skill of Bellew, or Hulk Hogan in his prime? By the way, in 80 whatever, he's the 24-inch pythons, and it is a mixed martial arts fight. Who are you taking?
Because I am a Hulk Hogan fan, I'm going to go with Thunder Lips. Whenever he hulks up, it's over for fucking Conlon. It is over for Conlon. I'm going to have to go with Thunder Lips on this one.
I agree. There is no way that if this was a mixed martial arts fight like it was in Rocky 3, Thunder Lips would have fucked his shit up all day.
He would press him over his fucking head and threw him out the damn ring.
The greatest fighter of this tournament, Apollo Creed, takes on Spider Rico. I don't even think that this is a matchup, but we'll discuss it. Andrew, is there any question that Apollo Creed, untrained even, takes out Spider Rico?
No question. Apollo Creed is the best of the bunch here. In their prime, he is Ali.
All right, Migs, you can be the deciding vote, but I think it's kind of a giveaway since I've seen Rocky 5 or 6. Spider Rico is eating through a straw, but go ahead. Creed versus Rico.
Yes, I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna go with Creed on this one. He mops the floor with fucking Rico.
All right, Spider Rico makes that round.
It's
Oh
not
my
as
God.
worse as our next matchup,
Yeah,
though. I
this is
gotta
a tough
say,
one,
this is
all
getting
right,
bad.
Leo Sparino, okay, which nobody really realizes is kind of a tune-up fight during the Creed. Did I get it right? It's during the
Yes.
Creed era, right? But Ivan Drago is the shit. Like, should I just put Ivan Drago because we're all gonna agree that
Ivan Drago, yes, and
he's fucking Vladimir Klitschko for God's sakes. Like, he gets a bye.
Yes.
Should we just see him in the
Yes,
final
he's
four?
Vladimir Klitschko on the juice. If you watch,
He's
he
on the
juices. He's
juice.
on the sauce.
he's 6'7". Leo Sparino is like 5'5". That is a middleweight named Gabriel Rosado, I believe is his name.
Sure is.
Not a great matchup at all, right there.
All right. Adonis Creed gets a bye to make it to the Elite Eight. Good for you because you have a movie. But this is the toughest fight of the night, Andrew. Clubber Lang in his prime, pre-Rocky loss. Okay, the real Clubber Lang versus Victor Drago.
This is a hard one for me. I'm going to throw this one to Miggs. I would go Lang on experience, but I don't really know Drago. I haven't seen him.
Ooh, Drago in Rocky 2 is a scary human being.
Yeah, I know he's
Miggs,
supposed to be.
Miggs, go ahead.
Yeah. I too am going to go with Lang. I pity the fool who does not pick Clubber on this one.
All right, you guys outvoted me. I'm going to take experience. Clubber Lang takes out the kid much like Adonis Creed does based on getting tougher. All right, we're going on to the literal final four. And that is Mason Dixon versus Rocky Balboa. That's a tough fight, bro. They've had the fight.
No way.
Huh?
I'm looking at this one like how I see De La Hoya Mayweather, and if Mayweather could not beat De La Hoya when he was a veteran, an over the hill fighter, there is absolutely no way he sees him when they were both in their prime. I got Rocky Balboa beating Mason Dixon.
So you say he outlasts it, goes the distance, typical Rocky style, because we all agree Rocky has the shittiest boxing style on the planet. Like he's literally the modern. He is Deontay Wilder of his era. But instead of a big right hand, he just takes punishment, right, and outlasts his opponent. Yeah. So Andrew's taking Rocky Balboa. I go to you, Miggs. Rocky Balboa versus Mason the Line Dixon.
Oh, that is a tough one. I've kind of flip-flopped back and forth in my mind in these last few seconds here, but I think I'm going to have to go with the one-hit wonder here, Mason Dixon. I think Mason Dixon is to take out Balboa in the later rounds.
You're putting it on me. All right, I'm picking which era of Rocky I want, so I'm going to be a dick about this. I want Rocky 1, Rocky, the biggest heart on the planet, with the brains of the Adonis Creed Rocky.
Hybrid.
Why can't I? Like, this is fucking fantasy football, for God's sakes. All right. And if that's the case, and Rocky literally, and by the way, it's not how many times you get hit, it's how many times you get up. Fuck, dude, in Rocky 1, you couldn't form a sentence. All right. Smarter with getting hit in the head, you're the bomb. All right, my answer at the end of the day, Rocky Balboa, because he got smarter. He makes it to the final four. Danny Wheeler takes on Thunder Lips to go on to the final four. Andrew, MMA versus...
This is not MMA.
Well, yeah, it has to be for the sake of this discussion because I'm setting the rules. Dana White is producing. Hey, guys, this is MMA. All right. 3 rounds.
Okay,
5
well,
minutes.
I'm going to stick behind until Dana White shows me that one of his guys can beat an elite champion in his prime. I'm sticking with Danny Wheeler. They got to
Good call.
prove it.
Good call. Good call. I'm not going to disagree with it. I go to you, Migs. Danny Wheeler versus Thunderlips.
This one's tough. My heart says Thunderlips, but my brain says Wheeler. I think this is where Thunderlips meets his demise.
By the way, I don't want to influence you, but Danny Wheeler has not been defeated since the age of 14. Okay, I don't want to put it out there, but based on Danny Wheeler, the character, which kind of mimics the actual character who actually fought in the Super 16, he hasn't lost since he was 14 years old.
Yeah, that's I think this is the line for Thunderlips. I'm going to take Wheeler on this one.
It's over. I don't even have to vote on this. That is a sweet final right there. Rocky Balboa versus Danny Wheeler, which has never happened in the history of boxing. We agreed that did we agree that it was not Spider Rico, it was Apollo Creed, right? We agreed
Yes.
Apollo Creed. Okay,
Yeah, it was
my bad.
Creed, yeah.
It was Apollo Creed.
So this
My
is
bad.
the death match over.
Apollo Creed versus Ivan Drago.
Oh no!
Oh, it's
Damn.
happened once. It's happening again. This is the rematch. Apollo Creed is back from the dead for the rematch. This is
Yes.
Apollo Creed, Ivan Drago 2. Can Apollo Creed learn from what he did the first time? Would there be a different? By the way, tell me this isn't the Sergey Kovalev fight all over again.
Yeah, that's
Laid
exactly
out.
where I was leaning.
Right?
This is
This
Fury
is Sergey
versus
Kovalev.
Fury versus Wilder. This is Kovalev versus Ward. You can't. It doesn't get better in the rematch, Lee. If he kills him in the first fight,
Wait.
he kills him in the second fight. I got Drago. Moving on.
This is the greatest Fight Net Radio episode ever. Andrew just predicted death in a back-to-back fight. All right. Oh, what you guys said, do you think you can pull together enough news? Yeah, I do. Yeah, literally at this moment when Andrew went, Ivan Drago kills him twice.
Yes.
All right.
Oof.
Oh, I realize I'm going to die from COVID as I'm sweating to death in my shirt.
I'm sweating.
Andrew, can you think of the amount of times you've actually made me laugh where it actually hurts? This is actually my favorite moment ever in Fight Net
Very
Radio
good.
history. By the way, when you're reading my eulogy, and by the way, Andrew, I want you reading my eulogy, by the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nobody ever got Lee. Nobody ever got him. I did. I was his friend, and he was a funny fucking guy. And the funniest thing I ever said to him was, if Apollo Creed fought Ivan Drago a second time, he would die again. All right, Migs, vote it out.
Okay, well, let's remember why Creed took that first fight with fucking Drago to begin with, because he's a stubborn fuck. I suspect that he's not going to change a damn thing. He's going to fight the exact same way. I think I'm going to have to call Drago on this one. Drago's going to take it. He killed him so bad the first time that he brought him back to life, only to kill him one more time.
All right, what's the outcome in your fight? Does he die in the second fight too?
Oh, you best believe it. He's going to die
All
for
right.
good this time.
Oh, this is going to be
Ivan
bad.
I don't even
Yeah.
have to vote this one out. All right, Ivan Drago, which takes us to the last of the Elite Eight. Adonis Creed, who apparently can retrain and be a stud, takes on Clubber Lang in the Elite Eight. Adonis Creed did take out Victor Drago in the second movie by going to New Mexico and being buried in a sand pit and fighting like an absolute animal. Which, by the way, when I was thinking about training, even my trainer said, I don't expect you to learn shit. I expect you to go into the desert and be buried in sand and be a fucking animal. So it's a training style. All right. So let's say Adonis Creed goes out and learns how to be a stud. Andrew, I give it to you. Clubber Lang and his limited gas tank against Adonis Creed.
I think Adonis Creed is going to pull this fight out by decision, and it's going to go off of the fact that his dad has already died earlier. So they kind of give him.
Yeah, well, he died in the previous round, so yeah, it would be pretty fucking heart wrenching. I go to you, Migs. Creed versus Clubber Lang.
Ooh, all right. This one,
This
I'm
is
gonna
literally
probably
my
have
favorite
to.
episode. If you guys aren't drinking, you guys are literally. I feel like we need the party horn. Bah, 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 bah. Each one of these
Yeah.
is. Jesus,
If I had a
this
drink
is
here,
a-
I'll be drinking it. Yeah.
Okay, Clubber Lang, Adonis Creed. Tell me, Migs.
All right. I'm gonna have to. This one's tough. But I feel this one is going to be similar to Carl Froch and Durrell back in the day. I think that the more experienced Lang is going to use his ruggedness and his, well, pretty much trying to rough up Creed, and I think that's going to throw Creed off of his game. I'm going to go with Clubber Lang by split decision. I'm going to go with Clubber Lang on this one.
Vote.
I'm going to make you
It's
vote.
so much
Yes.
easier for the two of you when you guys come up with this shit. All right, so here's the problem. All right, I'm just going to be honest at this point. I have worked very hard at securing the fact that I make it appear that I don't know shit about boxing. And the reality of Clubber Lang, he is literally, I look at this fight more like Hearns versus Hagler, which is kind of our last segment for today. Adonis Creed is a quick outside boxer who understands body movement. However, he's trained by Rocky, right? Do we all agree? Which
Yes.
means he's going to go inside and try to fight it out with heart. So I'm going to have to agree with Migs. Because if Adonis Creed is trained by Balboa, he's going to try to go inside and be a tougher man. I wouldn't want to stand inside on a Mike Tyson, a.k.a. Clubber Lang, any day of the week. The winner of this round in a huge upset, by the way, unanimous decision, Andrew, just for you.
Well, I had a
Clubber-
controversial decision, so it's the same thing.
Clubber Lang makes
I only
it
had
on
him winning
through.
because his father died.
All right, fair enough. We're in the final four. Rocky Balboa is still moving on based on heart and complete stupidity. And he takes on Danny Wheeler, a.k.a. a guy who hasn't lost since the age of 14, Andrew. All right? Because Danny Wheeler is actually playing himself just with a different name. So I got to play him exactly who Danny Wheeler is, right? So if Danny Wheeler really was a heavyweight, or at least 200 pounds, and he really fought Rocky, who is a guy who fought on the inside with all heart and would take punishment like LaMotta, for God's sakes. Danny Wheeler versus Rocky Balboa, Andrew.
You can't take the power of Rocky. He's too small. He fights on the inside. He holds a lot, and he takes a lot of punches. And Balboa would have got him late in that fight. I like Rocky Balboa by late stoppage.
That is a stunner. Does he win by KO or decision?
Yeah, late stoppage.
Look at you, animal. Migs, don't make me decide.
This one, even though I didn't go with Rocky before, I think he's going to take this one. I think I'm going to use Lee's, I guess, theory on this one. His brains, I think, later he got smarter, right?
Like, by
Marker,
this time,
with his brains,
right?
Yeah,
Getting
with his
smarter.
brains and like Rocky 1's durability, I think he outlasts Wheeler. I think he takes him the distance, but he wins.
Rocky Balboa in the finals of the Super 16. Oh my God. And I agree with you, Migs. I'm going to vote, so it's not a split decision. If Rocky gets smarter in each movie, right? And he's still the same Rocky, right? Because we all watched Rocky Balboa when he fought Mason Dixon. By that point, he's literally the smartest, most intelligent man ever in boxing.
Yeah, I could take the ass whooping still. He could take the ass whooping.
Right. So he's actually thinking during the fight. He's not Rocky 1 or Rocky. I don't know, Adrian. I broke something on the inside. Like Rocky 4, he broke something on the inside that apparently made him smarter. Like, I wish, by the way, for all of you on coronavirus lockdown, go watch all the Rocky movies. It's just fucking ridiculous. Like, how do you, we've covered boxing for a very long time. There is nowhere in the boxing history where somebody got fucked up again, fucked up again, and then somewhere around the fourth fight, he's so fucked up that a doctor goes, you can't fight anymore, then trains somebody, gets to fight again, and then gets smarter. I mean, that is literally Rocky Balboa is the Superman of boxing. I think he's kind of the favorite in the finals, but let's talk about it. Ivan Drago has made it all the way to the Final Four, and he's taking on Clubber Lang, which to me is a dream fight ever, Andrew. Clubber Lang, Ivan Drago looks to me like the classic Klitschko versus anybody fight, right? I don't want to vote first because I want to hear everybody's opinion, but Ivan Drago would literally be any of the Klitschko brothers combined, fighting basically Mike Tyson. All right, so take that into it.
Clubber Lang saved Adonis Creed's life. You can say that because Drago would have killed Creed in this fight. He would have killed both Creeds. He would have ended the seed to their family, and he would have went on to Rocky. So we can say that Clubber Lang saved Creed's family.
I think I already know what the final's looking like, but all right, let's. I'm guessing you're taking Ivan Drago here.
It's hard to go against Drago. He's got the inside game. He's got the outside game. Like, look, Clubber Lang's very one-dimensional.
Let's go with Klitschko versus literally everybody. I think that Ivan Drago at this point in the fourth round of a tournament would have figured out that I don't even need to throw a right hand, much like Klitschko. How many fights have we seen, Andrew, historically, with a guy like Ivan Drago's reach, where you don't even need to let him inside? Just keep throwing the left hand. It
would have come late. This would have been a split decision. Lang would have had his moments early. Drago gets him late with the left jab. Yes, sir.
So Ivan Drago for Andrew. I'm going to go to you, Miggs. Ivan Drago, Clubber Lang. Does he get inside Mike Tyson style and actually light this dude up like Joshua or anybody else? Can he get past Ivan Drago?
That one had me thinking, actually listening to Andrew just now, but I suspect that Drago plays the distance. He plays the range, right? I suspect, let's not forget, Drago is on the sauce, so that dude has that 1,800-pound power punch, right? I think that Lang tries to get inside, thinking he can exchange punches. Once he feels Drago's shot, he starts backpedaling, but it'll be too late by then. He's already hurt. I'm going to go with Drago by KO.
I have to agree because literally everybody who's listened to this show from the beginning knows that I am the biggest Klitschko brother fans on the face of the planet, and I am the biggest fan of the Kronk gym. And if you believe in Ivan Drago, then you believe in the jab, you believe in the right hand. You guys got to stop me when I start talking.
And he's on the sauce, man. He's on the sauce.
Oh my God, he's on the sauce. Well, Clubber Lang was on the sauce. Are you out of your mind? And Clubber Lang is fucking crazy, like Mike Tyson. If Klitschko really fought Mike Tyson like in their primes, that's what you're talking about here. You're talking about two guys that are just fucking batshit crazy, right? One on the juice and one who's fucking completely nuclear. For God's sakes, okay? And if it came down to it and Ivan Drago really had like a Kronk's gym behind him to train him correctly, not the Soviet Union for the sake of discussion, I'm going to say this because I actually coach a couple of boxing people. The jab, tell me I'm wrong, the jab always wins. Tell me that there is not a guy named Larry Holmes who lived and died behind a jab.
Except if you're going to stop the middleweight championship of the world, Felix Strum, then a jab does not win the fight.
Then in that case, we all agree. Ivan Drago makes it all the way back to the finals, gentlemen, to face Rocky Balboa for a second time. The last time they met, Rocky Balboa was in a shower, ready to go to a doctor. Yo, Adrian, I think, sometimes Mick told me when you fight so hard, you break something inside. And Adrian, I need to go see a doctor. All right. That's the first fight. This is part 2 of the fight, Andrew. This is not the first fight. This is the second fight. Rocky literally goes to a doctor. He's broken. He's done Rocky Balboa, right? He's come back once against Mason Dixon. He's still fighting Rocky Balboa versus Ivan Drago 2.
I'll never bet against an American, Lee. We have the best fighters on the planet. Rocky Balboa trained in Philadelphia. Ivan Drago did not train over here. I got Rocky winning in a 12-round decision. Very technical fight this time.
Was Danny Garcia his trainer? Just so you know. That's a really funny joke, by the way.
Can I promote this fight? By the way, I'm promoting this fight. It's at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, right after COVID-19 coronavirus. Rocky Balboa versus Ivan Drago 2. It'll be the greatest fight ever.
Hashtag PR boxing.
Hashtag Top Rank Boxing. All right. This is our best episode ever, Andrew. I swear to you, you think I'm crazy, but everybody's going to go, this is the craziest shit ever. All right. Are you going to split the decision, or are you going to go all the way and say Rocky pulls it out of his ass? Now, I'm going to say it again, because here's what Andrew misses. We know this for a fact from Sergey Kovalev, literally all the way down the line. Once you get lit up, knocked out, beat up, you are never the same fighter. And Ivan Drago got knocked out by Rocky Balboa in the first fight. Like, that's a loose light bulb. All right? I'm going to put this on you, Migs, and I'm not trying to put the vote on me. If you say Rocky Balboa, that is the winner of this tournament, and fuck everybody who's voting based on their heart on this top-ranked tournament. All right? Because they are. I've looked at the tournament. Like, they're voting stupid shit. Like, they're not analyzing this going, fucking Danny Wheeler, if it were really Danny Wheeler, he hasn't lost since he was 14 years old. They made him the same character. For God's sakes, he would run through the tournament because he's already done the tournament, for God's sakes. All right? So it's on you, Migs. Rocky Balboa, Ivan Drago 2. Ivan Drago lost the first fight by knockout late, for God's sakes.
Yes.
Right? He was so fucked up that he trained his kid, and he's in the goddamn tournament.
Yes.
All right? I'm not putting any pressure on you, but this is the final fight. All right? Go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm going to remind you, gentlemen, if you watch that first fight of theirs, Rocky was knocked down like 3 or 4 fucking times. The referee neglected to count, and there was a 3 knockdown rule in effect. Drago should have fucking won. So I'm going to say the exact same thing happens. He's going to knock fucking Balboa down 3 times. The referee's going to call it this time. I'm going to call it.
All right, I hear you. So you're going IBF rules for this fight. Unified title. Hold on. By the way, all of you fucktards who are voting on this for Top Rank, you should be putting this much thought into it. All right. So if we go with unified rules, there is no 3 knockdown rule in effect. It's going to be the unified champion. It's going to be the unified champion. You're telling me that I'm not getting all 4 or 5 or 25 belts in this tournament? Like, and including the WWE title from Thunder Lips. All right, so if that's the case, right? So it's got a 25-minute or a 30-minute time limit. That's funny. God damn, I write good. All right, unified title. So it's no 3 knockdown rule in effect. Rethink it. Ivan Drago, Rocky Balboa 2.
Okay, well, now that you've threw that stipulation curveball, I was expecting to hear, Harold Letterman like, there is a 3 knockdown rule in effect, Jim. But anyway, if it's not in effect, and even though Balboa gets knocked down several times, which I'm sure is going to happen in the rematch, we know he can still take the ass whooping. Is going to be able to outlast Drago. In that case, yes, I would have to go with Rocky Balboa in that case.
We are being joined from heaven. Andrew, who do you think's joining us?
From heaven?
From heaven. We haven't had him on the show in literally from forever. Who's joining us?
Letterman?
You're correct. Joining us from heaven, who has not been on the show literally in, I think, Andrew, tell me I'm wrong, 6 months? He hasn't been on the show, at least, right? Joining us from heaven, Harold Leonard. Let me tell you what I think. Gentlemen, you're both wrong. I'm overruling you. Ivan Drago at this point has been dominating the fight, and I've been watching it very closely. Migs, I'm overruling you at this point in the show. Andrew, I think you're voting emotionally, but I have Ivan Drago ahead 127-25 for Rocky Balboa. He hasn't really done anything to demonstrate any kind of forward movement, any kind of defensive boxing skills. And to be perfectly honest, Ivan Drago is clearly winning on all of the judges' scorecards. That is such a great callback, Andrew.
It's very good.
Really?
And the reason why we think he's in heaven, Lee thinks he was whacked right after his HBO gig.
Oh, someone got to him. Shit.
I do a great Harold Letterman.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something, Jim.
Yes. Oh, yes,
All right.
exactly. I love the Harriman.
All right. I have to agree with you because I like the Rocky story. I like the Chavez story. I like the Sergio Martinez story. I'm going to be honest. The only reason I'm going Rocky Balboa because he is smarter at this point. Like literally, if we follow the timeline. Oh, God. Dying again. Don't mind me, guys. If I die on the air, it's literally the best Fight Net Radio ever. Rocky Balboa literally gets a split decision over Ivan Drago in a 12-round knockdown, drag-out affair where everybody will go, but Ivan was in it till the end. So all of you nitwits who have been voting on this, Rocky Balboa still wins no matter what, and that's just the way it is. Are we all in agreement?
Is it a home click decision? Is it a home click decision?
I like a good split decision, right? Where one judge has it one way, one judge from Russia has it the other way, and then somebody from a neutral country has it the correct way.
From the Philippines.
We all agree that Rocky gets the decision, and then does the, yo, Adrian, I know you're dead. But I just wanted to say to my son, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It's how many times you get up. And to Adrian, who I keep praying to, and Polly, who's got a gravestone as well at this point in my life. Get up, Polly. Polly, get yourself some wild jack and turkey. Drink your ass into the ground, you fat ass fuck.
you fat ass freeloader.
Oh, so great. Do we all agree Rocky would clear this tournament? Oh my God.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy. That's the craziest shit we've ever done on this show. All right. Last but not least, for you coronavirus people, Andrew, how you doing on time? I'm trying to be respectful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Doing all right. If we get it, let's get it going.
We're going to do it.
This damn show on the road.
Let's do some real fucking boxing this time. How's that sound?
That's awesome.
All right. My favorite fight of all time. Okay. And this is why I say, if you're listening to the podcast going, I think I need video. Yeah, you do. I don't want to break it to you, but this is the fight. Okay. So you guys are younger than me. And since I'm coming up on my next birthday, I'm probably not going to be alive to see my next birthday on Tuesday. Hearns Hagler, Andrew, where were you when you watched it the first time?
My grandpa's house. Everything's going to be my grandpa's house, bro.
That's where Tyson upset grandfather's house. I'm with you. I hear you. You weren't alive for this fight, right? Like, when were you born?
80.
Okay. Jesus Christ. You would have been 4 or 5?
5 years old. Yes, sir. I just turned 5
right?
2 weeks before this. Yes, sir.
So in 85, I was at a friend's house who I went to. I know nobody's going to believe this. A Catholic group. And this was one of the guys in the Catholic. Yeah, shut up, Migs. All right.
There's a possibility, Lee. I had a birthday cake at this fight. There's a possibility for that. The whole family's together. Andrew just had a birthday. There's a possibility that happened.
I'm one of the guys in the youth group from my school, and I'm at his house, and he goes, "Have you seen the Hearns Hagler fight?" I can remember standing in his fight and him popping in the VHS to show me the fight, and I went, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it wasn't even just great. It was like, how do I watch more of this insanity? Migs, when was the first time you watched Hearns Hagler?
I must have been maybe like 6 or 7, because I was born in '84, so I was a year old around this time. But my dad has or had at least the VHS collection, and at some point in this, 6 or 7 year old, mind of mine, I went digging through his VHS collection and popped this one in the fucking the VCR. So I had to have been maybe 6 or 7, still living in LA at the time in our piece of shit apartment in Lincoln Heights. But yeah, my dad's VHS
East
collection.
LA, like me. Look at
I
you.
was East LA home. Hell
You were
yeah.
just like me. Fuck. Yeah, I know this because my mom just moved to a new house with my father. Literally, my entire VHS collection, which included Hearns Hagler and everything else I've ever collected, is gone. God bless
Oh.
YouTube for covering all the fights that I've
Yes.
ever covered. We're gonna watch it. We're not going to have the audio commentary over the top. That's just the way it is. It's just 3 guys watching the fight. Andrew, you want to call it? Because you're usually the best at calling it.
Oh, go ahead. However it plays out, let's just go do this fight.
There you go.
I would like to say it's very nice to see Hearns at 26.
WBC rule.
Go ahead.
Damn, what a fucking specimen he was, though. Jesus Christ. 6'1". Fuck.
Oh my God. They were at their prime. I remember everything
20.
about this fight. I remember when he put it in, and when he put it in, it was literally, oh my God, Doc Severance, who, for you that are too young, this is the director of the Tonight Show band with Johnny Carson. Man, that makes me feel old in a strange way. All right. Who is this announcer? Richard Steele when he was young, for God's sakes. Before he was the guy who fucked Chavez. And by the way, the greatest quote ever in Fight Net Radio history, for those of you who don't know, in the archive somewhere is Richard Steele saying, "The people who had a problem with my decision are the nickel and dime bettors."
Yep.
Greatest quote ever. Greatest quote ever. Like, it's a quote that I probably should go dig out and put into the intro, because Richard Steele, based on Andrew said, go ask him about the Chavez fight. And I asked him, and he goes, the only people who had a problem with the Chavez fight are the nickel and dime bettors. And I went, that's the greatest fucking quote I've ever heard in my entire life. Tommy Hearns in his prime, 26 versus 30. Marvelous Marvin Hagler from Boston, Mass. Age 30. He is the older. Weight 159 and a quarter pounds. Is just a goddamn stud. Nobody wants to fight him. Sugar Ray Leonard has currently retired, so he doesn't have to fight this goddamn animal. I'm a total Marvin Hagler fan. I exude everything that is great about Marvin Hagler, Andrew.
Definitely a good fight here. One thing, Hagler is the man at middleweight. Hearns is really the more declarated fighter coming into this fight. With fights over with Cuevas, Leonard, Benitez, and Duran, he actually had more of a better resume going into this fight against the Hall of Fame fighters.
And a 2-weight division by that point.
Yeah. What did you think of Hagler, Hearns, when you saw it the first time? I mean, now that we've got retrospect before they ring the bell, how far? Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, you son of a bitch.
All right, calm down. 5 seconds. There you go.
All right.
Miggs, what did you think of Hagler going into this fight? Like, he's literally the man. Like, he is the middleweight.
Yeah, well, when I first saw it, I mean, I didn't know any better. I was just a fucking kid, I watched fights, but I thought, like, holy shit, this was a killer-ass scrap, like, even at that young age, I knew I was a wrestling fan. I knew what a fake punch looked like, and I knew what a real punch looked like. And when I saw these two throw down, I was like, holy fuck. But as I got older, I kind of realized who they were, and I understood their records and everything. And Hagler was the middleweight. What's his name? Him being what I think, even though he's shorter, the natural middleweight.
Hearns came up from lighter weights.
From 154, right? Yeah.
Andrew, I want to bring this to you. Well, no, I want to cover this because they go at it hot and fast, and we were talking about this before. I mean, seriously, Hearns came in hot and heavy, Andrew.
He does, and we actually we did see the left hand that makes Hearns kind of wobble early in this round. It's almost the first punch Hagler wins. You see Hearns is in the air, and his feet kind of almost go out from under him. and then Hearns just starts throwing the right hand. We got to remember, Hearns' own trainer knew his chin was bad. We've all heard Emanuel Steward talk about it. The statement he had in the fight with Leonard when he said it was only a matter of time before everyone found out. And I think with Stewart having that mentality on Hearns going into a fight with the middleweight champion of the world, I think that brought up the little bit of the game plan as let's go balls to the wall and try to get out of this fight as fast as we can with the knockout.
Yeah, Miggs, when you watch the quick start to this fight, which is way beyond the way Hearns technically fights, what were you thinking when you watched that quick start?
Well, years later, when I understood, I didn't understand, why Hearns is. I mean, just watching this fight with Cuevas, the way he knocked Cuevas out, it was at a distance. He fucking range. He kind of kept the range with the left and unloaded that fucking right. Here, he's pretty much fighting in close. Well, I guess partially because Hagler is trying to smother him a little bit, but watching Hearns to be okay with being on the inside like that. Like where did the jab go? Like where the fuck did it go? Where did the keeping the distance go? Like the game plan went out the window the second they started landing punches. So I was like, okay, this is not going to go good for.
Which is well beyond the Kronk's chin. Like,
and we know about the cut. The cut had something to do with it too. Yeah. The
part
cut
that I'm
comes
fascinated
early.
by this is the whole, Emanuel Steward fight mentality. This guy didn't come out and start the jab and start the distance. Like they're just going at it. Like this is dumb. When can you guys actually think of a fight outside of Gotti Ward where two guys just walked into the ring and went, fuck it, we're going. Right there, he got hurt.
Even Gotti Ward, they didn't get really started until later on. They had a couple of rounds where they sort of kind of felt things out. It got really clicking later on, of course. These guys right off the bat, dude.
All right, Miggs, because you've got the better memory. Does he have the broken jaw here or the next round?
Broken jaw.
They bring it up in HBO Nights. Hagler got a broken jaw and basically said in his corner, fuck it, I'm not going down. Like this is just gonna happen. I think when it happens, he already had the cut. So I want to say it already happened because I remember him already having the cut. I think he got lit up in this round, and he's basically telling his corner, "Fuck it, I'm going."
The cut has something to do with Hagler pressing. You got to remember, Hagler knows Hearns can be hurt. He might have no respect for his power right now, thinking he's gonna walk through the welterweight.
Oh, right there. Oh my God, that right hand.
Yeah. I mean, if the fight would be stopped by a cut, it would be if it's considered a punch. If it was a punch, which I think it was, as a matter of fact, then I would say it would be in danger of losing if the fight ends up losing. Yeah.
Tell me this isn't a Rocky movie in the making. Like this doesn't even make sense from a fight perspective for a 16-minute fight. Like these guys are just going. Now he's doing it right. So Stewart's already calmed him down in the corner. He's coming back in round 2. Work the goddamn jab. What are you doing, you doorknob? Right? Like, it doesn't matter that he's the Raging Bull. Just keep popping that jab. Perfect. Keep moving and circling. And so he's trying it in the second round. But here's what's great about Marvin Hagler in the second round. Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, he felt the urgency with that cut. It's like, oh shit, they better not stop this shit. There's even a point where Steele actually Steele actually stopped, right? Then they had a doctor come in and take a look at the cut or something. I remember that.
What are you thinking at this point in the fight where they're getting lit up, Andrew? I mean, this is technically Kronk boxing. This is Emanuel Steward against a Raging Bull. Oh, did I lose Andrew?
Oh shit!
How's that possible? I think it's you. Oh, it's so great. I don't know how I lost Andrew. But then again, it's coronavirus, and we lose everyone. He's probably screaming into his. Andrew, are you there?
Yeah, right. And we're back. No. Oh.
Nah, it's you and me until Andrew pops in. He'll keep going.
All right.
But again, that is all the way. Look, if you're looking at lineage of boxing, right? Hearns is trying to fight all the way from here in 1984, all the way to Klitschko, right? Same style. keep him on the outside, keep the jab, keep it pumping,
Yeah.
keep it going, right?
And initiate the clinch if it gets too close. I mean, come on now.
Right. It's a brilliant style. I mean, we're all going to send. Did he already go? Did Stewart already go to the Boxing Hall of Fame? He probably should.
Oh shit! I think he did actually. Yeah.
But the reality of that sentence is this style has literally worked for 3 decades. I mean, that's the reality of the style.
And in different
Keep
weight
them
divisions.
on the outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only diffusing to the outside jab is what a smarter, better inside fighter can do. Get under the jab and then light this fucking guy up. I love this fight. This is literally everything I love about boxing. He's on the inside. This is what made Mike Tyson, for God's sakes, right?
Yeah.
Get under the jab, beat the fuck. Mike Tyson would not be Mike Tyson if he couldn't get under a jab. And at round 2, it's still anybody's fight. But Tommy Hearns is fucked up and jacked.
Yeah, dude, his legs, you can tell he's like fucking noodles, man. He walks back to a corner, he's like holding onto the rope. Damn, you can tell. It's like you had the sense that whoever landed. I mean, well, it kind of felt like the fucking what is it? The sand was running out of the hourglass for Hearns here. We just kind of felt that any one of those punches the Hagler landed was gonna fucking eventually, of course. But I was expecting. Oh man. Oh, you know what? I'm watching it here on YouTube as well. It is TR. It is fucking Top Rank. I just realized that they have a little Top Rank logo over.
Of course, I promoted it.
Yeah.
I'm the greatest promoter of all time.
Oh, and he's back.
Bob never goes away. I'm always there.
I'm quietly waiting to find out whether or not my city will allow me to have 3 months of free rent in Oceanside because we're the only open beach. We had a vote at 2:00, but I digress. This is the round, right? Round 3. This is it.
Oh yeah, this is it.
This is when it gets serious. Andrew, are you back?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, cool. So this is when it gets serious. At this point in the fight, who are you taking? Like, do you think Hearns can handle this, or do you already feel do you feel that Hagler's got this?
Hagler had a puncher's chance. That's really all he had in this fight. He was the one that was getting hurt. He's the one backpedaling.
Oh, that jab is great.
No, definitely it's. But we know who he was fighting.
Oh. I literally got to give Hearns credit rewatching this, right? Like he's playing the Emmanuel Stewart game of staying on the outside. You just happen to have a guy who's going to slip under and catch you every once in a great while with a monster punch. Hagler got a standing 8 at this point in the fight in round number 3.
No, they're no.
They're checking the cut. This is when they're checking
the cut. Is this the cut? Is this cut? Okay. I thought it was the shenanigans.
Yeah. See, that was bad. Oof. I thought they were gonna stop right there early.
And then here's where it all changes. Like Hagler just is like, "Fuck it, I gotta go." Right?
Yeah.
There's
Balls to the wall right here, man. Yeah.
How crazy is this in boxing? Because nobody fights this way, Andrew. Like nobody goes.
They used to be a thing. Back in the days, this is what fighting used to look like. I mean, you see it all the time, Lee. You put on some of these old classic fights. Look, there he hurts them.
He turned his
now
back.
He's chasing them, and it's over.
Oh my God. Wait, hold on. I got to rewind that because it's so great. Like, literally, he's been told, yeah, we got to check the cut. All right, let's rewind this for everybody. Checking the cut. I'm scared I'm going to lose the fight, so I better go balls to the wall, Andrew. And he comes at him with everything. He's coming under, he's coming in. By the way, 2 shots below the belt line, which Richard doesn't even.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's done that a few times. He's done that a few times, actually. He didn't call it.
And then he just goes balls to the goddamn wall. Like, it is a jab technically, but that right hand fucks him up. Right there. That's the one. Right, left.
Bam,
That's
bitch.
the end of the fight.
Look at it laid out. Why the fuck are you even counting, Richard? Damn, just
let it end.
Man.
Stop the fucking fight.
Got back up though. Damn.
All right, let's talk about this again. Yeah. Left, right. It's a left. That's not the one. Left, right. Right there. That's the one that does it.
Yeah, that like lunging right, I think it was right, lunging right hand. Shit. Damn, he felt like a sack of potatoes.
Sadly, he comes back and fights everybody, including Iran the Blade Barkley in the late 90s.
Oh, yeah.
But I digress. Andrew, at this point,
Late 80s.
the fight.
He fights Barkley in the late 80s, and that's actually...
Blade Barkley 2 was in the 90s, wasn't it?
Well, maybe Barkley 2. But Barkley 1's in 88. And,
yeah. But I went to Barkley.
And it actually got upset of the year. Iran Barkley knocked out Tommy Hearns also in, I think, the second round. And then Iran Barkley goes on to lose that title to Roberto Duran in a great... I think is it a 15 round? That might even be a 15-round fight. I don't remember if it was 15 or 12, but it's a great fight.
If it was the later like 80s, then it would probably think, because I think they stopped doing 15 rounds in like 87, I want to say.
Okay, then it was 12. It was 12 because it's 88.
I went to Barkley Blade 2, and it was mind-boggling that these guys tried to fight again. Literally mind-boggling they tried to fight again. But whatever
by
the
the way,
case.
Hearns did get robbed in like his rematch with Sugar Ray, because I think he beat out of fucking Sugar Ray rematch in I think 81. I think it was from no, the first one was 81. When the hell was 88, 89 when they fought in the rematch? Sugar Ray and fucking
Sugar Ray
89.
89,
and
yeah.
Hearns actually won that fight. That should have been Hearns' victory.
That was garbage. Was it like a draw or something, right? That's
Yeah, it
what they
was
called
a draw. And there was fucking... He dropped Leonard, I think, twice in that fight, and they kept calling it a slip. Coach just waving off that was a bad decision for Hearns that night. He beat Leonard on that one.
It was a good show. I'm very proud of you both. You have made a guy dying from COVID-19 very happy. We literally decided who would win the Rocky tournament, and sadly, it's still Rocky. How the fuck did that happen?
Yes. I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight.
I bet you are. Literally, we went through every Rocky character, and Rocky still won, because ultimately you have to give him the credit of being smarter by the end of the Rocky movie series. And actually, the fight that never happened would be Rocky versus Adonis, for God's sakes.
Actually, the fight that probably was, I'd like to tell you guys, was the Drago Lang. That is probably the most interesting fight on the list.
Yeah.
It's Klitschko versus Tyson, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer fight. But we're just trying to entertain you guys. We know you're all on lockdown. We're on lockdown. I'm currently showing all the symptoms of having coronavirus, which might make for the greatest show of all time. But I digress. We're just here to take the day and give you a couple of hours that are less stressful, because it sucks. Have a drink, listen to our feedback, watch a fight with us, enjoy it. We'll be back on Sunday. Go to fightnetradio.com and enjoy everything we have to offer to you, because ultimately we're just here to entertain you in a time where you got to close your blinds, lock your windows, lock your door. Be smart, people. Don't be stupid. And certainly don't come to Oceanside, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Don't be stubborn, for fuck's sake.
Well, here's the thing. Stop coming to Oceanside, for God's sakes. It's out of fucking control. Like, I saw 100... Oh, never mind. We love you all. We're just trying to make your trip through the COVID lockdown a little bit better. And that is the most fun the three of us have had in quite some time. Thanks for listening.
Fight Night Radio! FightNetRadio.com with Andrew and Lee, talking boxing, combat, sports, comedy, football, and everything kick-ass. All on FightNetRadio.com. Fight Night!